Hello. So I was wanting to get a 20 pack of the Knit Picks undyed bear yarn in a fingering weight so I could experiment with some hand dyeing. So when it came down to making a decision though about which one I wanted to get, took me a while to make up my mind. I was a little confused. So my main goal was to make a bunch of socks, and obviously I love getting to play with socks just because you can have this whole range of crazy colors, and I figured anything I dyed, you know, hopefully it would at least work in a pair of socks. So I'm gonna go over the yarn that I did end up getting just as a comparison point, because I wasn't 100% sure when I was looking at the different yarns what I wanted, what would be the best thing, kind of what I was looking for. So I ended up buying a few different varieties and then settling on one for a 20 pack of the undyed yarn. So the main three that I did end up getting was the Knit Picks Stroll. These are all fingering weight, by the way. The Knit Picks Hawthorne and the Knit Picks Felici. So Stroll and Felici are both merino wool. They both are 75% merino wool and 25% nylon. And the main differences that I noticed between these two are they're both machine wash cold, tumble dry low. Sorry, Felici just says machine wash. And the Felici has less yardage. It is 436 yards to 100 grams, whereas the Stroll is 462 yards per 100 grams. And the Felici is made in Italy, whereas the Stroll is made in Peru. I have actually already used half of the skein of Stroll, and this is what I did hand dye with it. I actually just used food coloring, a gray cake icing color, and I really like the results. It did turn out gray with some variegation. It was really pretty, and I made a pair of short, probably about 2-inch socks, 2-inch high cuff socks in a size 8. So just to kind of give you an idea of how much you can actually get out of this ball of yarn. So the Hawthorne's a little bit different. It is only 357 yards per 100 grams, so it's a bit denser. Obviously, you know, if you're familiar with merino yarn, it is very soft, very squishy. This is a little bit denser, and it is because it is a little bit different. So it is 80% superwash fine Highland wool. I think I did forget to mention that these are all superwash, and 20% polyamide, which is nylon. So again, a typical kind of sock yarn composition. Now, these, the Felici and the Stroll, are 4-ply, and I'm trying to hopefully see if you can see this. There we go. So 4-ply, pretty fluffy. You can see that. Now obviously I've messed with this tail here, so you can start to see the ends a little bit better. The twist on this Felici is a bit tighter, and I do like that. That would probably again account for a bit less yardage you get per 100 grams because the twist is tighter. So if you're kind of looking at these, again, it's a 4-ply yarn, but the twist is really a bit springier. I really couldn't say which one is softer. I think if I was maybe going to buy more of this, I might prefer the Felici, just because I've not really used I've not used merino for socks. and I know that it can wear out a bit faster. I do knit socks for men that wear them in their boots and wear them to work, and personally, you know, I want them to last. I made this for my mom because I know she'll be gentle on them. So definitely, though, maybe even if you wanted a nice thin sweater, like I don't like wool very much. I don't mind it on my feet, but I am a little sensitive to it. So these are soft. These really don't bother me. So I mean, as far as the texture and feel, very nice. The Hawthorne, it's not quite as soft, but it is not bad at all. I mean, I've been knitting with Croy socks yarn, and it softens up a lot after you've used it. I have not knit any socks with this yet. I did want to kind of go over this before I began crazily dyeing, and I might want to document that process just because I think it's really interesting to watch kind of what can happen. And then also my goal is just to use the food colors, so it is completely safe. I don't have to get different pots and pans. I don't have to worry about chemicals and fumes. So that is kind of one of the things that I did like about the Hawthorne, is if it's going to be on your feet, it's going to go through a lot of wear, and it really isn't, it's soft. I think I mean, just maybe comparing it to the Croy, because that's something you can go feel in a store. I mean, I think this is a little softer. It's a little smoother. Croy is a 4-ply sock yarn, and this is a 2-ply. I'm trying to find an end here. Of course, they all had to disappear on me. Just kind of grab up a little bit of it. So you can see it's a really high twist, meaning it's really kind of dense. It's not quite as springy or fluffy because of the number of plies, but you can see when you finally get them untwisted, it's a 2-ply yarn. So it's supposed to produce really good stitch definition, meaning your stitches are really going to show up. I did a cabled sock with the Stroll, and it turned out really nice. I would have liked it to be a little denser. I used a size 2 needle, but it was kind of hard to make my cables on the smaller needles, so I think I maybe would have preferred to knit this the size 1 needle. But again, I can't say I dislike any of them. I think they're really reasonably priced. They're really nice yarn. You get a lot, and I really like the option of getting a bundle pack. So then the last thing I'm going to go over, and I'm hoping I went over all the talking points with these. I don't really have a agenda or anything. They are, of course, all machine washable superwash yarns. That was important to me because honestly, I'm too lazy to hand wash everything. Sorry, my phone is vibrating, of course, and I have to use that to control my GoPro. And I'm not an expert at this, but last thing I bought from Knit Picks, and this is my really kind of newish in the yarn knitting hobby, as in I don't have years under my belt, but I do like making some socks. So I like tweed yarns. I'm kind of a sucker for these. So this is the Stroll tweed fingering weight yarn line, and I just thought the colors were so pretty and I could see them being socks, so I got a few for myself. So these are, again, superwash merino wool, 65%, 25% nylon, and 10% Donegal tweed. I've not made socks with these yet. Got a second skein. These are smaller. They have 231 yards per 50 grams, so you got to get 2 of them, hypothetically, to make a pair of socks. I mean, obviously everybody's different. I have small feet, so I'm hoping I can get a little bit more out of these, but I just love the gemmy colors, the garnet. I got North Sea Heather, Dill Heather, and Atlantis Heather. I think these are my favorites, but then again, I kind of love the olivey kind of green. So that's a quick overview of a comparison of these yarns. They do come in different weights, I believe. If you're going to be looking for something a little bit heavier, but again, it's just the same yarn, it's in a different weight, so hopefully that clears up some of the questions at least that I had when I was trying to comparatively shop for some bare undyed yarn. And again, just kind of was a sucker for these colors. So overall, I'm happy with what I got. I ended up picking, just for reference, the 20 pack of Hawthorne to dye, just because I wanted the sturdiness. And I mean, really, it's not that. I think I probably could stand to wear a loose sweater, and I like all my sweaters loose anyway of this. So again, like I said, I'm just not a wool person. I don't really love all the feeling of wool on my skin. It kind of creeps me out. Other than socks and kind of the certain blends that feel all right. So not itchy, not scratchy, and I'm assuming it is gonna probably soften up with a little bit of wear, and again, of course, the dyeing process. So I hope that was helpful. Again, just trying to answer some questions I had when I was shopping around, but it's really nice to have these options of different superwash yarns. I think I forgot to say the Hawthorne is made in Peru as well, and it is machine wash cold. So machine washable, superwash. So I'm gonna try to have some fun with this.